Hello and welcome to Orderly Ape. Today we're going to show you how to install additional test locations on Orderly Ape. So, if we start at the GitHub repo, we are at the review signal, and this is the Orderly Ape project. You can also go to orderlyape.com. That will have links to everything that you need. So, if you come here, we have additional test locations. This is after the install, the base install. So we're going to assume you've already installed Orderly Ape and now you're trying to scale it up. So how to install additional test locations. The steps are here. We'll just go through this real quick. So add a location from the Orderly Ape web app. So if we go to Orderly Ape web app, the home is going to look like this. We're going to want to add a new test location. We're going to use Singapore today. I'm putting everything in lowercase because there's been issues where cases have mattered and it's just easier. Just use lowercase, make life great. Save. Okay, so we've got Singapore location. The status is question mark because we just created it and it's not actually hooked up to anything. Okay, add a user from the Orderly Ape web app. Okay, so users, add. Let's add a user named Singapore. We're going to need a password. If we look here at the next couple steps, it's going to say create a values.london. It uses London in the example for everything. Change that to what you need. So today we're doing Singapore, so all London replaced with Singapore. So right here, we're creating this values.location.yaml. We're going to put in a password. This is the username and password for Orderly Ape that we just created. So if I go here, I'm going to edit the values.singapore. So this is a copy of that, but actually filled in. So I'm going to grab our password here. This is the location of our app. Take that, put the password in here, save. Okay, a whole bunch of stuff pops up right here. That's kind of important. If you look at step 3, so step 2 is add a user, step 3 is add the user to the workers group. What that means is if you look down here, there's groups. This is available, this is chosen. We need to add it to the chosen groups, and we save it. And that's all that is. Then we create this values.singapore, in this case, .yaml. We've done that here. We're going to save that. Great. Step 5, create a new Kubernetes cluster in the location of your choice. So if you're using DigitalOcean like we've done, so we have Singapore here. We've already done that because I don't want to do that on video because it's just going to take a really long time. So we've got a cluster set up in Singapore already. Follow the instructions of the that we have in the first install. So pick the same version and everything. It does have some notes on the scaling, so it doesn't need as many at the minimum. It only needs 1. You can have the auto scale to whatever you feel is appropriate for the size of your testing, but we generally use 1 or 2. Connect to your Kubernetes cluster using the same commands. So when you create your cluster, it's going to give you a command that looks kind of like that. Run it. Then you have to look at your contexts. So I'm going to use kubectx just to see all the contexts. So we want Singapore, so I'm going to kubectx to do-sgp1-k6-sgp1-1. Copy pasting would probably be easier, huh? Okay, so now we're switched to our Singapore context. Great, and then run the following commands. You can probably run these all together. You just need to make sure you replace London in those 3 places with whatever location you did. I'm going to have to change these a little bit because we have likely, if I look, we've probably installed stuff on here before because we've been doing a lot of testing. So yeah, I already have stuff set up. So when I create this namespace, I'm going to name it 5 because we're using Orderly Ape 5 is the host. So I create Singapore 5 hosts or namespace. Now I'm going to take this command, put it in here. We're going to replace London with Singapore. And this is Singapore 5 as our namespace, and Singapore values is the YAML. So we're going to run that. That is going to install the K6 operator on the Kubernetes cluster we have to run these tests. Okay, that was quick. It's done. So now the instructions say check test locations to see if it was added correctly. You should see a green dot. So let's hope everything went well. Green check mark. Perfect. You remember when we started it was a question mark because we didn't have anything. Now it's a check mark because it's successfully installed and connected. So we have added a Singapore test location. So now if you want to go to your test runs, let's make a new one, you can now use the Singapore location because we've added that. So that is how you install additional test locations on Orderly Ape. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, bugs, you can go to orderlyape.com or the GitHub repo, create an issue, come join our Discord, reach out, let us know. Thank you for using and trying Orderly Ape. Hope you enjoy.